Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Man, could you imagine the body positivity movement? Like, it really makes waves, like, one way or another, that even the most spoiled individual or somebody that really reaches and goes too far can actually be beautiful. You know how, well, then that means that even some of us on the other side, because it's all about equality and diversity, we could be beautiful too. That means that, hey, I'm beautiful. Yeah, I sure enough am. You know how beautiful I be? I'll tell you that right now. We all look at that. I'm beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't matter how I take care of myself. I could be like one of them people from My 600-Pound Life and everything else, but I'm beautiful. Shit, you run away and all that kind of stuff. That means that you ain't woman enough to love this much, man. I'm beautiful. Come on, y'all. Get some of me. I think about it all the time. I be feeling it. Yeah. Love wins, baby. But it's a battlefield. And welcome to the J-Man Show here on J360 Radio.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Why don't more infant formula companies use organic, grass-fed whole milk instead of skim? Why don't more infant formula companies use the latest breast milk science? Why don't more infant formula companies run their own clinical trials? Why don't more infant formula companies use more of the proteins found in breast milk? Why don't more infant formula companies have their own factories instead of outsourcing their manufacturing? We wondered the same thing. So we made ByHeart, an infant formula company on a mission to get a lot closer to the most superfood on the planet, breast milk. Our patented protein blend has more of the important and most abundant proteins actually found in breast milk. We're the first and only U.S.-made formula to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, not skim. We even conducted the largest clinical trial by a new infant formula company in a quarter-century, with clinically proven benefits like easier digestion, less spit-up, and softer poops versus a leading infant formula. And we make our own formula in the USA and our very own factories in Iowa, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. ByHeart, a better formula for formula. Learn more at byheart.com.
Woo! Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the J-Man Show here on J360 Radio. And welcome back to episode 189. Ha! That means after this, guess what? We have finally reached the 190s, and we are only 10 episodes away from episode 200. Man, I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited. I can see that stuff within reach, and I keep crawling to get there, traveling through a tunnel where only the light is at the end, and I know I'm gonna reach it one way or another. And then by that point, we cross the threshold. And you know something? The milestones, man. I really got to do something special for that milestone now I think about it. But I'm sure it'll come to me soon enough. I'm just saying this. What a way to go, right? Making it to 5 years and then making it to 200 episodes, that's double bonus right there, but, hey, one way or another. Not trying to toot my own horn, I'm just saying that made it this far, especially since this is the show that started it all here at J360 Productions, or I should say J360 Radio, whereas the one that started it all at J360 Productions was technically a original J-Man show that was videos based. Yeah, I made it, I know. So I guess I was right on both counts. But hey, how are you all doing tonight? It is the Valentine's week, y'all. Let the love win. Let the love course through you. Love. love, and all that other stuff. You know, as a matter of fact, I have been doing something nice and special. I've been giving back to other content creators. I've been going ahead and showcasing and sharing like some of their best work that I've seen so far, in addition to those that I've written in on the J360productions.com, you know, the scenario for album spotlights and showcasing different things that they've made. I'm just doing what I can out here to go ahead and spread the love around, you know, because we all need it. Like this is a tough time. One way or another, like going into this whole new decade here has been nothing but survival, wondering which way is up, and looking here and there and everywhere, just trying to figure out what the answers are. But then you realize sometimes the answers are within you. They're right in front of you. So I figure, not only do I entertain, but I also help build a community, and I help enrich that community, and I help us all grow, and I help us all out in one shape or form of another. Because, you know, hey, I got the ability to do it. And, you know, the thing about it is, if I do nothing, that's evil enough. So, you know, I figure I go ahead and I handle it the best way I can. And this is the time to do that, you know, just like even doing the Power Play series right now. That might be the sole J360 TV product right now, for right now. I have more to come on that. But the thing about it is, that is growing as well. And as a matter of fact, earlier today, I took the time to fall in love with a franchise that has been near and dear to my heart, Street Fighter. Remember when I always said, hey, challenge me on Street Fighter, challenge me on Street Fighter? That's what certain content creators need to challenge me on as a way of, you know, 1v1ing. You know, not shooters and crap like that. Like, I like shooting games. I love Halo. I will always play Halo. But I will tell you this, though. If I was able to really get rectified in some way, or if somebody was really to go ahead and prove their salt to me, you fight me in my favorite game of all time. You don't fight me in, oh my God, a shooting game. Or you go ahead and you try to throw like a scrub kind of game like UFC or something like that. Like, that's just stupid. Whereas I always say, you know, fight me in Street Fighter, fight me in Mortal Kombat, or fight me in Killer Instinct, or fight me in DOA, or even Tekken. Tekken would have been pretty good if you couldn't get to Street Fighter in time. I mean, let's just be honest. There are other games that you can fight me in, but the thing about it is, you're not going to fight me on, you know, my main area, pretty much. Yeah, that just goes to show you're a big-ass punk. But hey, enough of that old stuff. I just got to go ahead and get that out of my system a little bit, because as far as I'm concerned, I was playing Street Fighter today, and I fell back in love with it. I played through, you know, like with the rest of my friends on the Casual BS line above the Power Play, which I really need to come up with a better name, but it's just so funny. I guess because of the conversations we have. But, you know, I was battling with Team J360 over there, and it was pretty cool, you know? Like, the way they had that scenario set up for Street Fighter 30th is just awesome. 4 people in a party, and you're just duking it out and just having a good time. And the netcode, when it works, is actually pretty fresh. And I had make sure I had the room set up for, like, you know, varying speeds and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes if you have this one dedicated server and, like, it's built on a certain speed and, you know, certain computers don't reach that speed, it just doesn't flow well. But it seems like a pretty good experience for everybody involved. And we're just all having a good time knocking each other out, which is, like, amazing. And since I fell back in love with Street Fighter, I fell back in love with Tekken, I fell back in love with DOA, all those games that I named earlier. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I got some content to send your way on J360productions.com regarding video games too. So yeah, I mean, like, I just found some more content to present to y'all. So today was a win-win, and you can kind of say that it was a half R&D day and a half downtime day, because pretty much everything for the week is all set and taken care of, except for maybe jams. I mean, I still have room for song submissions for jams, believe it or not. So anybody that's out there that's worth their salt, please send your submissions in. That email is j360productions@outlook.com, and just put J360 Jams right there in the subject line so I don't misplace it and it just comes right to me and it goes into the right spot. That way, you know, it keeps things organized. I will say this, though, as far as like I wonder if I should mention that the people that are on J360 Jams can actually be on the Power Play and in Hangouts. I'll tell them later. Why not? It's a good talking point. But I will say this, though, as I am working on these things, yeah, by all means, you know, just ask me questions and we'll go from there. And if you game, I mean, this is the time right now. For those of you that do, for those of you that, need an outlet and all that kind of stuff, come on over here to J360 Productions. I mean, that's the way we can do this stuff. You know what I mean? I'm all about interacting with the fan base. I'm all about interacting with collaborators. I'm all about that, you know, just don't be a jerk about it. You know what I mean? Because there are moments where I could lose respect for people. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you benefit of the doubt, but don't take advantage too much of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just wild to me that, you know, certain content creators out here think with their, you know, small name, big ego, whereas at the same time, me on my own way, I know that that's just a ruin right there. Whereas, like, I just be humble about it from time to time. Now, I'm confident as hell. Don't get me wrong. Like, all that stuff, like, yeah, you know, I would have handled that situation, but it just wasn't worth my time. That's confidence, man. Because I know, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them kind of things. I just have always been a very confident person about stuff. Especially with this. This could actually, you know, rise from the ashes a little bit. And I know that I have the Power Play 14 coming tomorrow night on YouTube. And then those have been asking about Twitch, don't worry, I got Twitch coming up right where I need it. I'm just working on stuff with OBS right now. So, you know, taking care of business left and right around here. R&D never stops, man. You got to keep it clean. But as I go into all that, that's just showing love for the community that's around me, like the Jam Fam and the J360 Legion, and, you know, quite a lot of other people that are discovering this show. And if you are discovering this show right now, hi, I'm J-Man. Stay tuned. You're going to be in for some wild stuff. Because, you know, as we do talk about love, that's love right there. That's a gift to everybody, you know? And that's what it should be. People need to be showcased. People need to, you know, they make this great art. This art should never be hidden. It should be shown. Unless the artist feels as though, you know, privatize it. But at the same time, why would you privatize something like that? That's kind of selfish in a way. You know? And lighten up a little bit. It was your gift. You had something to send to us. You had a message. Let's get it out there a little bit, you know, especially if it's something that you felt was important at the time. See, people don't start doing that privacy thing until they get real self-conscious and they put themselves in a hole. And I know it's kind of hard to say. I could say get over it, but, you know, get over it sometimes it won't help. Sometimes people get more reinforced when you say that, but it's like, wouldn't you want it to be exhibited to a small number of people, then to a larger number of people, and then, you know, let it grow and grow from there? There's ways of doing this thing. Somebody's going to see that. And, you know, people are going to say whatever they want to say anyway. So you might want to just go ahead and drop the big bomb on them. You know what I mean? I try to say that for every single content creator out there. It doesn't matter which trade you're doing. It's just like, you know, just put it out there. I'm not going to gatekeep you. Why? Why should I? You know? And I'm going to tell you this. It took me a while to get this way, but I went through a lot of hurt lockers to get that way. You know what I'm saying? So much critiquing. But that's a story for another time. Matter of fact, let's get into it with this. So, I'm noticing that quite a lot of people are doing the same thing that they are doing. And I see that you're still getting the same results, right? You're still getting that, you know, that full-time membership at the Lonely Hearts Club, or you're getting all that spinster, crazy cat lady talk and all this other stereotypes that we take advantage of and we make memes out of. But at the same time, it's rather sad that this stuff comes to light, you know, one way or another. And then some of us wake up and become the person that we never intended to be and look in the mirror and be like, who the hell are you? When at the same time, it was a lot differently planned. Believe me, I had a lot of different plans for my life. Either I didn't expect to be in Delaware around in my 30s, but here I am. However, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to take that jump and I'm going to make some changes because I deserve them and I'm fighting for them. Because I declared them. I made my intention well known that I'm going to try to aim for the richest state in the union, that I'm going to try to get into one of the hardest industries on this face of the planet, that I am going to build a business, that I am going to go ahead and rise above it all, take the keys and just drive and just do what I got to do until the time ends. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Because a life lived, you know, is without regrets. Don't be with regrets at this point. Regrets will only make you sick, weigh you down, just like certain people do, because they weren't strong enough to take advantage of it. They weren't strong enough to go for anything. And love is about the same way. I mean, have you ever had a scenario where, like, there was somebody there and they were glamorous to look at? And I mean anybody you could think of that was really, really glamorous. And, you know, you had that shot to get with them. but you didn't do it because you were self-conscious, or you had like your friend. And sometimes your friends are kind of detrimental to you too, because they'll be like this, you gotta crawl before you walk. You can't just go after that. You gotta be they do all that coaxing nonsense right there. Well, I'm here to tell you this, especially those of you that are young about this stuff, that are in high school. And granted, I hope this is another high schooler we're talking about, where like those are formative years. Just get up and go for it. Be bold, be daring. And if that person is with somebody else, you know what I mean? Once again, be bold, be daring, and hold your own. Fight back, damn it. Fight back. Because the thing about it is, when you sit there and you start doing that hesitation mode and stuff like that, after a while it'll become a habit. And see, the thing is, you don't really know until you find out. See, everybody's like, I don't think they would make it come. I don't think they would have did this. I don't think they would have did that. See, and that's usually your social circle or the student body talking about it. And 9 times out of 10, they don't know what the hell's going on. The only thing they do is they come up with stupid opinions on things. But the fact is, you went for something. And the fact is, it could have taked or it couldn't have taked. And then there's a chance where, these things don't happen immediately like what Disney would tell you. These things happen over time, and it comes through talking. It comes through little bits of installments here, or, one way or another, it comes through a moment where, you're getting to know each other. But it all starts with basically just sending in your application and saying hi, or speaking, or going on like, you know what I mean? Talking. Like actually talking, not shop talk. Not like, oh, well, that's a nice book you're reading, blah, 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 and then that's it. No, I mean, like, actually talk. Like, well, what do you think about that theory of relativity? What do you think about, like, the Greek myths compared to the Norse myths and all, and then have, like, a decent conversation. It's not going to kill you to do that. But you see, I'm not just talking about high schoolers like that. That's just a scenario. But the thing is, on any meeting spot, or even like in a book club, or even like in, like scenarios where like you're doing a radio show and you're speaking on that behalf. Like I talk to everybody. I mean, you've seen it on Jams. Some of you probably seen it on the Power Play in its earlier days on Twitch. The thing about it is that I talk to everybody. I just go ahead and I just speak. Because I have nothing to hide, and I try to be as open and inviting to people as I can be. Now, granted, like a long time ago, I used to be really, really shy, and I used to have like, problems connecting, but I got over it. I took the time, I wanted to make changes, and I got better about it. And I did it throughout not only just my formative years, but I did it in my 20s too. And, while I had dates, and I had good ones, and I've had bad ones, and I've had, strong relationships and weak relationships, almost had an abusive one, in terms of not physical abuse, but in terms of like, we were always bickering at each other, and it had to end, and I ended it because I didn't want to be that person, and I didn't want to be in that scenario. You see what I'm saying? And it was just for the best that it ended. But I was never ever going to go ahead and be an abuser. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. Even to this day, I'm never going to. But when I point out something that, you're not respecting the relationship, or you're not appreciating my presence at that time, I'm going to give you the absence. I'm going to go ahead and let you know one way or another, I'm not cool with this stuff, and we're going to make some changes because it needs to be done. This isn't right, the way you treat people and stuff. It's like how some people are not really honest or forthcoming about like what exactly they get out of this stuff, what the intention would be. And it ain't all about sex. I mean, after a while, it's like this, if you're really about the relationship, you're going to put in some work. You're going to be there for the good days, the bad days, and the WTFs. And that's just the way it goes. Show some support to that. Things like that. Like when some people say, oh man, I wish I was dating that cosplayer. It's like, okay, are you going to be there for the designing? Are you going to be there when she has a breakdown? Are you going to be, or he, or are you going to be there when, the show gets canceled and stuff doesn't seem to go well? Are you going to be there when one of the overzealous fans try to cop a feel and all this other stuff? I mean, like, it's a lot to it, especially like when some of them are caught up in that shenanigans and all that kind of stuff because people don't know how to act in public anymore. There's a lot to that. And then there comes the time where it feels like, I care about her fans more than me. But at the same time, that never really happened with me because I'm always like this. Hey, that's her time. This is my time. You ever had that moment where it's like, somebody's on a vacation, you're on a vacation too? Anyway, I'm just saying, like, because sometimes, breathing room is good. Not like, I'm not talking like break breathing room. I'm talking like, doing her thing. Let her do her thing. Whatever. You ain't got to spend every waking moment with me. Things like that. I've always been like that. Like I said before, I'm kind of like Goku when it comes to relationships sometimes. Not not in the point where I'm dumb. I mean, it's like to the point where, I don't mind, going and doing my own thing and then coming back and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like train, get stronger, save the world, come back and eat. Spend time with the loved one for a little bit, you know what I mean? Go out and do some, but, unlike Goku, go out and do things with that loved one for a while, you know what I'm saying? Just have a good time and stuff. Even though you could go ahead and bring up the old Dragon Ball Z movies where he's out there with his family and stuff like that, but which at the same time are good examples of him. But once again, that's my whole redemption of Dragon Ball Z quest that I got to do as I'm watching the series again. So I'll do that another time. But what I'm saying is that I'm there for you and stuff, but I know to give breathing room. I know to be like, you know what, back off a little bit. And then at the same time, same scenario, vice versa, you know what I mean? I'm like, you bother me anytime you want. I don't care. But at the same time, it's like, I'm mature enough to know. You see what I'm saying? Some people are not mature enough to know. Some people are just like, I have to be around you every week and minute to make sure all this stuff doesn't go down. I have to be a little bit. And it's like, a lot of people are in those kind of scenarios. Now, we all know this, but you should allow the boundary. You should be more mature about it. And in some cases, actually talk to the other person in your relationship or whatever. And I mean actually talk, communicate, speak, listen. But people don't listen either, so, it's sad because everybody's so highly reactionary. If you need a good example of that, take a look at Twitter. If you need a good example of that, take a look at social media in general. The comment section, if you will. The comment section sometimes is a lot more crazier than the actual, production that we were all supposed to come and enjoy, because everybody over here thinks that they are armchair expert and they know everything, and then after a while you'll realize that it ain't nothing more than a hump of BS, and it becomes nothing but foolery, even though it's a whole different word outside of this show. But it is foolery. It's a lot of it. It's just lies and manipulation in some way. And some people just like to troll. But then at the same time, the trolling will hurt when it backfires on them. And then all of a sudden it's like, how dare you? How dare you? And they do that, dude. But here's the thing. Like, when it get right down to it, though, you should always ask, why are you here? Why do you want that relationship? And then at the same time, are you willing to work hard enough for it? Because it's going to take some time. It's going to take pain and effort in some cases. There might be some day where you might not be the one, or there might be some day where you realize that she has an attraction for somebody else too, but at the same time, you won the fight, didn't you? But you're so worried about that one other person, and you ain't even doing the loving no more. You doing all the paranoia. You're sitting up there in the corner, or you're afraid that the shade room will do a report on you as you grow as a celebrity, or you're afraid that certain people who thrive off of this stuff, in terms of ones that work in media, who have to instigate everything, will go ahead and say, yeah, man, so how you feel when she was, had arm around the old dude like that? You good with it, man? You alright? You don't be feeling a certain way, you know what I mean? Get out and handle your business. And this is the thing about the black community. Why we gotta always stir up beefs? Have you noticed that? Now, I'm not trying to say that every single one of us do this, but there's quite a lot of people that be going out here doing this kind of stuff. And it's like this. You know what? If you want me to beat up the other person's ass, I might as well beat your ass up for going ahead and starting this crap. For pilot lighting here. Or gaslighting, I should say. You shouldn't be over here gaslighting people and stuff like that. I mean, if you need to get views or something like that, are you that damn desperate, why don't we take a look at your life, huh? Are you handling it with your wife? Are you there for her every day? Oh, I don't think so. How's your side piece doing? Who's your co-host right here? She over there giggling and crabbing and then trying to say, oh, yeah, I'm with my man right now. But it turned out that, guess what? You not her man either, you punk ass. Things like that. See what I'm saying? It's funny as hell because you see people go too far with this stuff and they don't realize the, reconciliation of it and all this kind of stuff. This stuff can backfire so many ways. It's not funny when you do that stuff. I mean, in some cases and in some scenarios, maybe when it comes to the memes, yeah. But then it comes to that whole thing where it's like, yo, you worrying too much about these things. And you see, when it comes to what I see in my community sometimes, we got PTSD, something awful, because that's all we ever talk about. You know, it could be rappers beefing against other rappers. It could be rapper wives beefing against other rapper wives. And then at the end of the day, knowing that they being cheated on because guess what? So-and-so wasn't man enough to say that they weren't happy in the damn relationship in the first place. But she still popped out 3 of the kids though, right? See, things like that. There's a whole lot of crap that goes on. And see, one way or another, we need to quit glorifying this stuff. It ain't nothing to be proud of. You know, when it comes right down to like pushing all of this BS rhetoric. And you see our mainstream media, right, is so desperate for content. They will do this stuff anyway. Like even with other communities out there pertaining to race or whatever, they'll go ahead and they'll throw up the most toxic individuals that have money behind you. And they'll go ahead and they'll talk about how hard it is for them to find someone, how hard it is for them to be with somebody. Then they go do these bachelorette type deals and stuff like that. Oh yeah, you'll curve violence and you'll curve, talking about history or actual comedy, but you'll allow this nonsense, which is weird to me. The Bachelor and The Bachelorette should not be on TV anymore, and I can say the same thing about 90 Day Fiancé. I mean, all this shallow crap. No, this is my point of view about it. The hell with your point of view about it. It ain't a good point of view. It's toxic as hell, and it don't make no damn sense. And then 9 times out of 10, why don't you just try and hope that this works out? And then a lot of people, because they don't really think for themselves, if they delve into this nonsense forever, like what I was doing in the cold opening earlier, some of that stuff, it ain't good for your health. Here's the thing. It's good to feel good about yourself, but at the same time, if you know that you need to make a little bit of improvement, that's cool. But if you are happy with who you are, the public doesn't need to know it all the time. The public doesn't even need to know about your relationship all the time. The public doesn't even need to know what makes you tick all the time. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I understand, like, it's all about giving and showing that image, because everybody has an image, and how you shape that image is pretty much your own damn responsibility. So if it backfires on you, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Yeah. Think about it, man. And ladies, think about it. Think about it. Everybody, even the non-binary crowd, think about it. How the hell do these people know this much about you if it wasn't for you spouting it? Think about it. If you were really desperate to get somebody and stuff like that, and you poured all that stuff out, chances are somebody saw that and screen capped it and decided to say, hey, this leverage. It's like me doing these shows. Like nowadays, like if you came up to me about a show that I did not too long ago, and I would go and try to say like, was don't you man? I was like, yeah, I grew as a person too. I know what I said back then. You go ahead and tell me that, hey, I liked The Last Jedi the first time I saw it, but when I saw it again, I got some damn sense. So leave me alone. Well, actually, no. Don't leave me alone. Come at me about some more stuff. I'm going to tell you about Lord of the Rings in a few minutes. I will happily take that nonsense. Like all sorts of things. Like, oh yeah, were you busy messing around with one of them? Yeah, damn right I was. It was a very mutual arrangement, too. Let me tell you the deets, man. Especially how nice that badge was. Keep in mind, though, J-Man will never tell. When it gets right down to certain scenarios like that, gentlemen, don't tell. And the truth is that, you really don't want to anyway, because there might be some time when you weren't the one, you know what I mean? Like, you was ready, but little buddy wasn't ready. Things weren't coming together. The Lincoln logs weren't connecting. And I had this same conversation with Fear Ends and his wife on J360 Hangouts, which is making a comeback soon. I'm just working on which episodes are canon or not, but that's definitely a canon episode, because it's true. Like, sometimes, you might not be the man that night. Your batting average probably went down like anything else. I mean, it happens. And quite a lot of people lie about sex anyway, especially when it comes to length. Or especially when it comes to stroke game. Or especially like, how good were those golf shots that night? So many things. So many problems. And not really much solutions. But as I speak about love and all, I'm just letting you know that one way or another, it's a battlefield. We all go through it. Like what Pat Benatar was singing about. Yeah, that's it. And it gets crazier when you get in one. It gets crazier to maintain one. And then there comes that day where things fall apart and you're just going to have to learn how to live with it. And, you will go through the hurt locker quite a lot. You will cry like a bitch. And the funny part about it is, it might be the best for both of you. It might be. Or at the same time, one of y'all probably didn't care anyway. But you see, a lot of people don't understand, the for better or worse thing, which is usually a marriage vow. But the thing about it is, you got to be able to face problems and stuff like that. One's supposed to lead to the other, usually. Everybody wants to do side pieces, all that stuff, want to do what, Bill Bellamy did off of How to Be a Player. But you saw, at the last third of that movie, homeboy couldn't keep it together for too long. He almost got outs by the party. But then eventually he got outs in the after party after he got it on with Katrina. He knew he should have left that alone because she played him. She had him all wrapped up throughout the whole movie. And that's what did him in. And I think Lark Voorhees whooped that ass at the end of it. I might have to ask him someday if I ever do an interview with him. But, that's just the way it go. And see, the thing is, he had a very stable relationship right there. The truth is, sometimes, people will be like this. Well, Jay, you're a guy. Won't you stick up? First off, I'm a man. Let's not do your generic guy labeling. Go on. Well, you're a man. You gonna take up for other men when they going ahead and they doing the play game? First off, I'm not 16 anymore. Hell no. Nah. If you doing that stuff, that's on you. And if you in that circle, that's on you too. And here's the craziest thing about that, right? I do it for the women too. I could see any of the girls that I know be like, well, Jay, I got a side piece and I got and all that stuff. And I'd be like, well, damn, you go on, girl. You work him like a horse. Go on, dry him out. Turn him into husk by the end of the night. You can go ahead and do the praying mantis thing if you need to. Eat his head. And I ain't talking about his joyful head either. It's like this, man. I'll cheer you on. If you really want that lifestyle, that's up to you because it has nothing to do with me. And if you're confident enough to hold it down right then and there, but just understand this, you can get played too. A boomerang comes for everyone. It just all really depends. See, in my case, it's the humble effect. Humble effect come out of nowhere to drop me down a peg or two because guess what? I done went too damn far. And that's usually how it goes. I stand up to anybody. I fight. I win some, I lose some. But the thing about it is, the humble effect is that one thing that I can't beat because it just comes in many, many forms. It can come in that form where I didn't get paid enough for expenses. Or it can come in that one form where something just happens and I go down. That's why it's called the humble effect. And it comes from many, many different people. Like a lot of these other content creators that go out here and they try to drag people's name through the mud, or they try to go on ahead and have no facts to anything, or they go ahead and try to give you relationship advice, which backfires in their face. I always tell you results may vary and that, I'm not a doctor. I'm pretty much a guy that's just trying to make it through life just like you are. But at the same time, I try to make sense out of everything. And it seems to click. But results may vary because your scenario is different than mine. But you got other people who are absolutely certain and it just bombs them out and they fall apart at the end and then they can't even give you a damn apology about it. Yeah. So you've seen that before, right? You've seen where bogus stuff comes up in their face because somebody was trolling and then at the end of the day it's like, oh my God, how can I handle this? Gee, I don't know. How about apologizing to the people that actually believed in your BS? And just say you'll do better next time. And mean it. Little things like that. Now, I'm not saying this because, there are other people out there who say, well, Jay, I have a hard time finding somebody to be with and all that stuff. Don't we all? And as your scenario, once again, might be a little different, but you got to know when to go ahead and just say, this ain't going to work. You got to know when to go ahead and look at it and be like, it just isn't doing me well for my mental health. I went ahead and I shot my shot at least 2 times and nothing took So, and it could be a factor of different problems. It could be a factor that that person ain't dating right now. It could be a whole list and line of things. But if you really want somebody, you know, chances are you might have to trot on somewhere else and just let that lie. And the funny part about that is, as soon as you got somebody that isn't as shallow or isn't as crazy at that point, that person will come looking for you and be like this, what about us? And that's the first thing that'll come out of their mouth or something around that scenario. You'd be like, what about us? That's it. And just walk away. Because at that point, you know, see, with me, myself, dealing with my love interest alone is like a full-time thing. And, yeah, I ain't messing that up. Not for no moment of action or a moment of pleasure and all that cool stuff. Oh, yeah, that really be funny, right? And then what's really crazy, right, where you are about to get snatched over, you on that, you know, plateau, not every single woman want to talk to you. In my scenario, yeah. Or in somebody else's scenario, yeah. Or in somebody, you know, if you get snatched, like ladies, if you get snatched up by a single man and y'all feeling real good about yourself, homeboy, the player, won't come back talk to you, be like, yeah, girl, you know, I should have gave you a chance at that time. That's when you should have closed the banker's window and left. Yeah, right then and there. Because, you know, don't even let the person get the syllable out. Just go on about your day. Because, I mean, like this, somebody already does care about you. You know? And then not just for the good set of tits, how you look in heels, all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, really, really likes you. Really wants that stuff to come together, you know? Build something here. And that's kind of the thing. What do you bring to the table? And here's the beautiful part, like how like some of those real attractive people don't have jobs, have no intention of getting a job, rather be a trophy person, things like that. You might as well kill that right then and there. Unless you want that kind of stuff, unless you like the idea of living with a leech. Yeah, but you see, Jay, that's because I can assert my control. See, and there's plenty of people out there like that. Never had control before, so they have to assert it in the most craziest ways. So, hey, by all means, go for that abusive crap. You know, that's all you. I don't condone abusive relationships, but you see, once again, that's on you. You should never aim for something like that. Like, with me, myself, or like, outside of my current love interest, or any sort of, and yeah, I'm saying outside of that because, you know, I'm trying to think back down the line of all the other ones I've had. I never once tried to control them. You know what I mean? Because they're their own people. And then there are times where I like to argue. Arguing is healthy. Like, you know, when my personality comes out and stuff like that, don't tell me that, you know, one way or another. I'll be like, yes, ma'am. Oh, it's not going to happen. No. I'm very pious. I'm content with everything. Do you believe any of that? You better not. You better not have believed any sort of bit of that. Because if you believe that, then I am a damn good actor. And we know that I'm subpar. So y'all better stop that stuff. Actually, I'm not subpar. I'm immaculate. But I got to keep working my way up, though. See what I'm saying? Humble. But that right there, that wasn't even me trying. That's not me at my best at all. Matter of fact, you could see through that. I could never even hold public office line like that. But then again, maybe I could. The climate's kind of broken. But as I say this, though, no. Like, there's times where I will not agree with my love interest. Like, even my current love interest, I mean, I wonder how that would go down, like the disagreements. It wouldn't be too bad, though, you know. Because I'm sure we're strong enough to get over that hump. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be willing to have those disagreements. It's actually pretty fun. And not only that, the makeup, makeouts, and sex afterwards. You got to understand. Okay, maybe you don't. See, some of y'all ain't as kinked like I am. But you see, me right there, that I like that. But it's what works for me won't work for you anyway. It's a little different. But, you know, you'll know these things and you'll know the limitations. You'll know what you want. You'll know all those things. But first things first, you got to play the game. You got some people that don't even play the game. I'm a hopeless romantic. Yeah, okay. When was the last time you tried? And if it wasn't in 2020-ish, well, not too many people are doing 2020-ish things. But if it wasn't in, like, the late 2010s, I know something was up. There's little things like that. It's like, are you willing to try again? Well, yeah. Well, how many times did you try with this one person? And then if it's up there around like, if it's past 3, cut it. I'm just saying, because even that 3 is iffy. Because you would know by the second time. If there's even a second, or hell, you would know by the first if you were really astute. It's one of them kind of things. Dating can be a real pain in the ass, I know. But at the same time, just talking, hanging out, getting to know each other shouldn't really take this much. Who knows how hard it is, but it's that much to ask. And then there are those, once again, that I say, that are very overzealous, won't take no for an answer, and they ruin the game for everybody. And then they need to get checked, and then all of a sudden you check them, and then, you know, all that litigation come up because you punched dude in the face. Dude had to get punched in the face because he never got beat by a man before. I guarantee he would never do it again. I can see it now. An overzealous fan going after my love interest, and then one way or another, he didn't know that J-Man was out there setting all kinds of traps like Knuckles the Echidna from Sonic 3 and pretty much ensnaring his ass. Or seeing like this giant bear trap on his foot and everything else, and I'm out there groundskeeping looking at it and be like, laughing my ass off and just walking away. I mean, that's just the way, that's just how sick I am. But at the end of the day, I protect my own. See what I'm saying? But, you know, it's little things like that. You got people out here talking all this crap about other things, you know? It's stuff that really shouldn't even matter. Stuff that shouldn't even be seen in the public eye. And it's just like, ugh. This is what Valentine's Day is all about. This isn't what Valentine's Day is all about. This isn't what love is about. It's not all bright and sunny. Sometimes it rains, it pours. Sometimes it's snowy. Sometimes it's shady and really, really ridiculous. But you don't have to be like, you know, cut it loose. Everybody doesn't even give it things a chance to be born. And it sucks. You know? It just hit a point where even now you think about it, Valentine's Day shouldn't be the start of things. While it would be nice if it was, but it shouldn't have to be the start of things, and it shouldn't have to be the end of things either. And you know, it's just one of them kind of things. And that's strictly an opinion, but the truth is, it's like there ain't no deadline for this stuff. Hell, some of y'all might fall in love with a time Easter gets around because you know the Easter rabbit just wanted to do a little bit extra other than you know, dropping off eggs. Just figured I'd say that. And then again, some people are like this, you know, you really should use that. Shut up and save it for the Easter special. It's Valentine's Day now. I'm talking about important things. Talk about love. We worry about the imagery of, you know, holidays at another time. Which, by the way, I was going to do the Cupid thing this year, but I decided not to. Because I'm beautiful. And not only that, I don't know how y'all would feel seeing... Actually, I don't care how you feel. It would have been nice. But you know what? We're going to save the Cupid thing for next year. Indeed. I don't care how you feel. That was too good. Let me write that down. Hey, speaking of which, so what we know is this. The whole point of all this is that it's not easy. It can be painful at times, but you grow through these things. You really need to take your shot when you can. Be smart about how you take your shot, though, because some people, you know, they acting like they slick. Like, you know how some people, you think she's single, but she married? Yeah, or you think he's single, but he married? He ain't leaving his wife for your ass. Well, how many Tyler Perry scenarios and movies do we see every time we're like, you need to leave your wife for me? Yeah, I will, baby. And by the next scene, he done completely forgot about it because he's already nutted up. And then not only that, he ain't never going to do it because he's comfortable. See, when people are comfortable like that, you got to start some stuff. But then it might turn into an Alfred Hitchcock scenario where, you know, that phone call you make might be your last. And then at the end of the day, it's all a plot point then. So, no, be smart about this stuff. And then same thing with trafficking. Like, people are now saying, that's how trafficking starts. It's like, so many things start with that kind of scenario. But at the same time, I think we're going a little extreme about it, but we're living in extreme times anyway. So you still got to take your chance. And then at the end of the day, don't listen to your friends entirely. You know, go for what's important for you, because after a while, you know, your friends ain't going to be there. They're going to be out there doing all sorts of other things that they want to do with them so-called cool people that know what's going on in the world and lead them to financial ruin. That's a little harsh to say, but some people are like that. Some people will happily take $500 from you. Matter of fact, we'll tie this on. It has nothing to do with love right now. Somebody said, actually it does. Somebody said that they love J360 Radio so much. If I give them $500, they can help me get more listeners, more organic growth, and a lot of ad revenue and sponsorship. You know something? Let me tell you something. $500 is interesting. $500, a nice number. But you know what? See, I'll tell you what I can do with $500. $500, I can buy my own ad revenue. $500, I can empower J360 Productions more so with that $500 by my own investment. $500 can enable me to do a little bit more and hire some staff. In addition to the staff that I do have, which I'm probably to get rid of because of COVID, but as I rebuild the team, you know what I mean? It could do a lot with that $500, starting and growing that base out a little bit. Hey, I could also bid on a few things on Thumbtacks. $500 is going to stay in my pocket because you'll never see one damn dime of it. Jackass. I'm not giving you $500. I could use $500 to go invest in a startup over on Republic or something like that. I mean, there are so many things I could do with $500. What the hell make you think I'm going to give it to you for what other people have been promising me since I started this damn series? You know what I mean? People are ridiculous. But you're not getting $500 from me. Shoot. It's crazy enough the people at Spreaker are getting it. By the way, Spreaker, I love you. It's one of them kind of things. Even then, it's a yearly plan. But you got to be smart about these things. Jeez. Yeah, ask me for $500. Shoot. We dating now? Is that what it is? Y'all thirst trap me? Shoot. Because I ain't thirsty these days. Anyway, I hope that you all have a good Valentine's week. That's it for the J-Man Show right now. I got to get on out of here because we're about to hit that last minute. But until then, I want you all to take it easy. J360 Jams is happening on Friday. The J360 Power Play is happening tomorrow. And the Power Play happens on the YouTube channel, okay? Till further notice. But until then, this is the J-Man signing off. You guys take it easy, all right? Peace.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more. Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.